Life alert!
Life alert. Oh, no way.
Oh, crap.
Let me guess. Now I'm allowed in your house, huh?
No!
Great. Check this out, man.
Damn! Is anyone else available?
Yeah. Uncle Magic. Yeah. You're never gonna guess whose house I'm in right now. No, yeah, you never. All right, I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna take it to you. Hold on.
No!
Hey, we're gonna put this on Instagram, all right? Box score starts now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you because I probably am.
Howard Collins for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles. The Danettes are out in Milford, Connecticut. Guys, no doubt Mr. Sterling was in a bit of a pickle there, which got us to thinking, what if you ran into someone that ticked you off? Would you lend him a hand? I mean, not to get all John Quinones on you, but McLovin, would you help him out or just leave him hanging?
No, I'm like, I'm very much all about love and peace and understanding. I don't care what you did to me. I'll reach out a hand. I mean, look at the producers of the Box Score. They've done nothing to criticize me since the show started. I still love them.
Boy, this one really depends. I mean, a lot of times I like to help people out if I can, if they're in a jam. But depending on the size of the jam and how upset I am with them, it's a sliding scale.
Yeah, I'm all about karma and doing the right thing, and you got to just help your fellow man out, even if they may have wronged you.
Man. That being said, Fritzy, whenever anything is spilled in the man cave or anything falls, you sit there idly and just watch.
I've helped on occasion,
No.
but that's not someone. I'm thinking something more dramatic, like someone's injured or they're stuck. Not that someone.
Oh, so it has to be a high level.
Yeah, if someone spilled something, they can very easily go get some paper towels and clean up a little mess.
I'm sort of along the lines of Paulie. It's sort of a sliding scale. It depends on how big of a problem it is. If it's some octogenarian stuck in the shower that I really hated, I'd probably help the guy up and be like, "Look at this fool."
What do you guys think the answer for Dan would be? For that specific question. Someone who's wronged him, would he go out of his way to help him?
Definitely depends on who it is.
If it's like a guy who put up like 35 on him, like some guy from Springboro who torched him, he might still be a little salty about that.
Yeah, if you burn Dan once, you probably won't have the opportunity to do it again. That'd be what I'd say.
Okay, let's switch gears to a more serious subject. Tony Dungy's comments dominated the show yesterday, and the coach came on to clarify what he said.
I don't think there's any problem in the locker room, and I don't think there's going to be a distraction as far as Michael being a teammate or to anybody in his organization, but definitely covering the story. It is. There are going to be some distractions. And I guess I look at it, I had the same kind of comments when we did the piece on Jonathan Martin. And I talked to some general managers, and they said that, Jonathan definitely had the talent to play in the league, but would they want the distraction of everybody following the story and people asking their players over and over, how are things going, what's going on with Jonathan, who's saying what to him? And because of the fact that they didn't view him as a difference maker, they probably wouldn't want the distractions.
Man, this story really gets me, and especially because when it first came out and happened, I was just like, whatever, it's really no big deal. But then the more that we keep talking about it, the more sort of layers we keep peeling off of this, and it's like, for me, the story isn't even really about Tony Dungy anymore. It's more kind of where we got there, and it's actually a much more societal issue than it has anything to do with sports. At this point, it's like the vehicle that got us here, because we spend way more time talking about sexuality and religion in this than we do about Tony Dungy. At least that's the way it feels to me. And frankly, just like someone's sexual orientation, I couldn't care less about somebody's religious beliefs. It's none of my business, and it gets me more annoyed the more we have to keep talking about it.
Well, no doubt the possibility of a reality show involving Michael Sam was part of what Coach Dungy was talking about, and the boss asked Coach Jeff Fisher about the chance of that reemerging.
We agreed to reconvene, sit down and discuss it. I think, I know that if they do continue with the piece, that it's going to be an outstanding piece. I think you could those that were, were spectators at the ESPY saw, what he's capable of doing and his passion and where he's come from and where he is right now. So if they go ahead and continue with the piece, I think it'll be outstanding. But it's certainly not going to be part of training camp, or is going to become a distraction if in fact he does make the team.
But you'll sign off if he makes the team that he can do this Oprah Winfrey show if he chooses to.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we have some discussions pending.
It's funny. A couple things stood out. Jeff Fisher is like so Southern California, like nothing flaps this guy. It's like the whole world is boiling over the subject. He's like, yeah, I heard about it yesterday. We wouldn't have drafted him if he was a good player. Although we did pass on him like a million times until we took him at the end.
Well, he looked like he was in no rush at all to sign off on any Oprah documentary or anything that would cause more attention to him or the team. I got a kick out of that. I found that really amusing when Dan asked him that. And he's like, we'll have some more conversations. We'll talk about that some more. But you could just tell he has no interest in this Oprah documentary.
One thing, too, like he said so many positive things about Sam, how he's a good football player. Like, what if he wanted to cut him now? I get away. It's like, wow. I mean, it kind of sounds like he's going to make the team. I mean, it's just a great review of the player. So I'd be weird if he didn't at least make the practice squad now.
I think what he would have liked to say at the end is, I don't want any of my players having a reality show. I don't care what their background is. If he would have said something like that, like, look, Dan, if I had my preference, not one player on my team would have a reality show while he's under my care. And I think everyone would understand that a coach doesn't want anything that takes a player's attention away for 1 second from football.
All right, well, we will stay focused as we turn the man cave into a music hall next. Oh, get the earplugs. It might get a little pitchy, dog. Welcome back to the Box Score. You guys had REM bassist Mike Mills in studio today. See, not to put you on the spot, but to put you on the spot, how many REM hits do you have on your iPod?
Well, I probably, not hits, but I have a couple of REM songs on my iPhone. First of all, nobody even uses iPods anymore, Brock, so get with the times.
Sorry.
Except for me. I've got my iPod cranking with Losing My Religion. I think that's the only one I have on there, and then it goes immediately back to the 50s, 70s, and 80s. But yeah, I've got at least one.
The fact that Fritzy uses the Generation 1 iPod tells you everything you want to know about the music.
Well, I had one of those big rectangular ones, and now I'm just kind of using it's like a little square, which is very comfortable for me. But
I'm surprised you don't have one of those cassette Walkman. Remember those?
Oh, the Sony Walkman.
He gave that 2 years ago.
Yeah, dude, no joke.
I
had I was working at ESPN at the time, so this is sometime in the last 10 years, and I still had a Discman. And my buddy got in my car and started cracking up, and he was like, dude, what is that thing? And I was like, what? And he already had like 5 iPods full of music or whatever, and I was like, oh, this is just it sounds good when you go over a bump. So I was so embarrassed. Oh, the horror.
I'm sure you guys are fired up to have Mike Mills in the studio. As a matter of fact, this morning, everybody was singing.
Modern day warrior, mean pride. Please don't say mean pride. Okay. Little nasally like Eddie.
That's very good.
All the prayers in the world can't bring you back. It's your last breath.
There you stood, that'll teach her to look so good and feel so right. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. I know it's crazy, but it's true.
Your singing ability.
No, I never had that.
I love what we did this morning. I think it was a great exercise. It certainly relaxed me, and we all know I can use some relaxation. Anytime we're all singing, there are parts of the country where they take siestas and they come back to work, or they exercise together or do some jumping jacks outside the building. There's different techniques that a number of companies have used over the years, and I think we could use more of that. Usually we get right into work and just dive right in, but a little, and we have our share of laughs, but it was nice to see everybody singing this morning. I thought it was a great way to start the day.
Great song, Fritz.
What song were you singing?
High on You, Survivor.
Oh.
I'm so high on
You've never been high on anything, which is
That's
ironic.
true. So I can't really relate to
Except for
that
that
part.
hot box ceremony you once experienced.
Did have the Great Western Forum hot box.
God, I don't need. That's the only Survivor song that I don't know well. Survivor, that's a Rocky song.
The Eye of the Tiger, yeah.
Yeah, oh my God.
The search is over.
Yeah, you know, as I look back on it, I wish I'd picked something like Dylan or somebody who has a bad voice. I didn't want to pick the melodic tunes of Christopher Cross, but I was sort of peer pressured into it. Because you know what happens? Sometimes you get caught between the moon and New York
You
City.
do get caught between the moon and New York City. I thought you pulled it off.
I went the exact opposite of REM and went Hatebreed, brought it back to a little hardcore action, and that was pretty great. I very much enjoyed that. I'm expecting band offers any moment now. So.
You know me, I'm not much of a singer or a musician, but if I can get some Geddy Lee in, I'm going to get it in. You know, people think Rush is a movie or a TV show.
I like a little.
It's a band. I'll slap the
got
bass.
a little bounce going.
I'm not sure you got quite as high as Geddy Lee.
Well, I don't think that's possible. Geddy's a little nasally and a little high, but I got the nasally part down.
Mike Mills did not disappoint, however, as he sang this special ode to the boss.
I am Super Dan, and I can do anything. If you go a million miles away, I'll track you down, girl. Trust me when I say I know the pathway to your heart. I am Super Dan, and my hair is happening. I am Dan the man, and I can do anything.
It's your dumb question.
You know, parody songs, if we'll say that, are a pretty tricky, tricky subject, I think, with musicians and artists, because I think when you write songs that become like international super hits and you consider yourself, and you are a really great songwriter, I don't know how much fun you really have with people then sort of mocking your song. That being said, that's not what we did there, what Paul did with that one. But it's always that sort of, are they going to be cool with doing this or no? Because I know that like you poured your heart out into this song, but do you mind if we just make it about Dan instead? And he seemed pretty cool with it.
Last two times we had Darius Rucker in. The first time we did it, I gave him like 10 minutes heads up. The second time when he did Catfish, the international hit, I gave him like a day heads up, which really helped. Now Mike Mills, I didn't get a hold of beforehand. I just thought this morning, I said to Cena, what do you think of this? He goes, yeah. And I was like, all right, let's try it. And when I sat down, I actually asked Dan to leave the studio during the commercial break to keep the surprise intact. And I showed it to Mike, and I looked at his face, and he didn't seem all in. He didn't seem all out. I said, dude, you could say no. No one else knows this is here. He goes, no, I'll give it a run maybe. And he was very cool about it because, again, like Seton said, you know, this is their livelihood. They don't want to be embarrassed because some dopey producer changed 4 lines in a song, you know. So.
And then, like, you don't know where they were coming from when they wrote those songs either. Like, that could be about like this really painful moment that he was going through. So, you know, you have no idea, and you're like, no, but now it's about farts. So it'll be great. Trust me, this is gonna kill. Trust me, it's gonna be awesome. And
This was about my dad dying back in the 80s. Or, yeah, I'll make some penis humor with it. Why not?
Stay with us. We will see how closely the guys are following player movement in the offseason in the NFL. But first, a little ditty from Paul Pabst.
From Jackson State to the Chicago Bears, Walter Payton. I can't think of anything that rhymes with Bears.
The Box Score presents Great Moments in DP Show History.
Drew Brees is going to stand up on the table to say,
I want Jimmy Graham back.
Thanks for watching Great Moments in DP Show History. Welcome back to the Box Score. Classic moment from the Super Bowl there with Drew Brees. McLovin, do you think Drew Brees' Tom Cruise-like declaration of love helped get the Jimmy Graham deal done?
Oh, I know as a fact that Saints owner Tom Benson watches the show. He's a big fan of Fritzy. There's definitely a connection there. Yeah, he's a big mock headline guy. I mean, I think basically we got Jimmy Graham and the Saints on the same page.
No doubt Drew Brees is happy to have Jimmy Graham back as the all-pro tight end re-signed with the Saints this offseason. But where did some of the other big names end up? Let's test the guys in this NFL player tracker quiz. The rules are pretty easy. I will tell you the player and where they played last season. You simply need to tell me where they signed with in the offseason. Let's start in the back row with our NFL insider McLovin. This one should be a layup. Darrelle Revis spent last season in Tampa with the Bucs. Who did he sign with?
He is currently a New England Patriot.
You're absolutely correct. He is a Patriot. Now to the front row, Deshaun Jackson. Oh, Seton, please. Deshaun Jackson racked up big numbers as a receiver for the Eagles. Where did he end up?
Redskins, question mark?
Redskins, question mark, is absolutely correct. Fritzy, it's your turn. Jared Allen chased down QBs for the Vikings last season. This year, he'll do it for a new team. Who is it?
Oh. Jared Allen is now a Chicago Bear?
You're absolutely correct. A Chicago Bear. Back to the front row. And Paulie, Aqib Talib, and KU alum, was a shutdown corner for the Patriots. What team scooped him up?
He will be losing a playoff game for the Broncos.
Oh, let the tears flow in the Fritzy household. All right, time to make them a little tougher. And we stay with the front row. Seton. Golden Tate caught passes from Russell Wilson in the Super Bowl. Now he's catching passes from a new signal caller. For which team?
Crap.
It's definitely an NFL team.
Definitely not the Cleveland Cavaliers. Not I'm gonna be so.
That's a tough one.
No. Rams?
I think I know.
No, the Lions.
Big
Yes, absolutely correct. It was the Lions. He's taking his talents to Detroit.
I knew it was somewhere in the Midwest.
Back row Fritzy.
Some kind of
Steve
city
Smith
there.
was one of Cam Newton's favorite targets in Carolina, but will have a new home this season. Where will it be?
Steve Smith is now not Atlanta Falcon. Oh.
As the head drops.
As a Baltimore Raven.
You're absolutely correct.
Wow.
He's a Raven. Close one. Paulie, you are up. Running back Maurice Jones-Drew had a pretty good run in Jacksonville, but is changing addresses. Where will he be playing next season?
He will be averaging 2.8 yards a carry for the Oakland Raiders.
The Raiders is correct. And finally, McLovin.
Is that for real?
Yeah.
He did.
Receiver Miles
Who knew?
Austin spent several seasons on the Cowboys sidelines and one on Kim K. But next year, that won't be the case. Who did he sign with?
Miles Austin is actually not going to make a team next year, so I am not going to give the answer.
Oh, trick question?
Trick question, okay. Well, we have written down the Cleveland Browns. So the one
Miles
question we
Austin
got
to the
wrong.
Cleveland Browns?
Yeah. Good job, guys. Still to come. Well, we wrap it all up with one last musical display. Welcome back to the Box Score. Last call here at the Box Score Bar. As you saw earlier, the guys had a lot of fun with musician Mike Mills, who is in the studio today. But you can't have a musical guest in the man cave without this happening.
I took for granted the friend I had in you. I was living for a dream, loving for a moment, taking on the world. That was just my style. Then I touch your heart, I can see forever. The search is over. You were with me all the while.
A couple of high notes there. Yeah, it's a big musical day. I tapped into some old Survivor, and I just went with it. I wasn't sure what I was doing in the box or what I wanted to address, and I'm like, you know what? Let's keep the music theme going, keep the Survivor theme going, and I at least tried to belt that one out.
All right, Fritzy, lay it on us. When is the album coming out? And you plan to go in there in the studio with Drake to drop any hot tracks?
we're looking at fall of next year. If we can move it up a little bit, that would be good. But look for something to drop maybe summer 2015.
No joke, okay? I seriously want to do this, right? Let's get Fritzy singing. Maybe like me and Two-A-Days will put together like a backing band for him,
I
and
like that.
play like a gig with Fritzy singing cover songs. Like we'll do like all of his 80s stuff or whatever. That would be so rad, dude, right? We'll do some Hall & Oates and stuff.
You guys
I bet you $1 million people would go see
You
it.
guys have my back as they start throwing tomatoes
hell yeah,
and things
dude.
at me? Or?
Hell yeah. I bet you'd go to like LA or something, man. We'll be at the Whiskey or something.
Sleeveless
So
up on
dope.
stage.
It'll be the
yeah,
whiskey a no-no. Yeah, you see, I'm self-deprecate. See what I did?
Fritzy, how about this? How about you sing Who's On Tomorrow?
We've got Rich Eisen, NFL Network host. Then there's John Smoltzy. To him I'll make a toast. So join us on Thursday, the Dan Patrick Show. It's time to go.
Oh, and now we are all survivors. Thanks for watching the box score. Set your DVR or tune in weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, only on Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Yeah.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!